Hi everybody, it's Neelam here. I'm really sorry I couldn't be with you tonight. Unfortunately, I actually live over in Birmingham, so I very rarely get to come to London and see everybody. But I wanted to talk to you today just about how the Sikh PA have supported Sisters as a grassroots organisation and how it's important for groups like Sikh PA to exist for purposes of small grassroots organisations, especially those in the voluntary sector. It was quite difficult to get media coverage unless you have some sort of hook or your topic is very in the news, etc. So I set up a foundation called Sisters. It's a women's support and awareness group around the topic of gynecological issues and reproductive health. I myself have reproductive health issues and gynae issues, which I've been very open about on my journey. I suffer with an ovarian cyst, as that's where the name Sisters came from. I've got PCOS and endometriosis, so I have chronic illnesses which keep me in pain on a daily basis. It's not a subject that's spoken about much within the community, purely for the fact that due to cultural reasons, nothing to do with religion, it's still a very hidden topic, and the conversation around chronic illnesses and chronic pain is so subjective that women sometimes seem and think that they shouldn't come forward because they should grin and bear it. So what Sisters is here is to sort of challenge the misogyny around that area and make it so that there's gender inequality for both sexes when it comes to chronic pain, chronic illnesses, and actually to get inform these women so they're educated enough to make an informed choice on their healthcare. I've unfortunately come across women who have my condition who have been, due to the pain, have had full hysterectomies under the NHS, feeling that that was the only choice for them. Now, what we do with Sisters is actually talk to women and about alternative therapies, even if it's herbal remedies, etc. There are other ways to alleviate pain. For example, I'm using a TENS machine. I use a TENS machine almost daily, and that sort of gets rid of some of the physical pain that I'm in. I recently went under a cervical biopsy because I had abnormal precancerous cells in my cervix. And these aren't topics that we openly talk about. We don't openly say that we're having gynae issues because there's such a negative connotation around sexual health, and that women shouldn't have this conversation because it's quite sexually provocative. And what Sikh PA did is actually made that conversation acceptable. They put me in touch with loads of different organisations. We've had articles done on us, and we're not a big organisation. Everyone in part of Sisters, including me as a founder, we're actually all volunteers. I have a full-time job which actually supplements the financial need for Sisters so we can continue and grow. But without the Sikh PA, we've never even been recognised as a charity that are doing this sort of work, and it's really important for people of our community to actually support one another, because it's interesting how these gynae health issues actually affect Asian women from a BME background twofold. So it's really interesting how the research is lacking in that area, and that's something that we're challenging around and trying to create more awareness about by having an open conversation. Because Sikh PA have actually supported me with this, it's been like a personal journey of mine, because my health has, it goes up and down, it's deteriorated. I've been into hospital quite a few times, and Sikh PA have actually supported that journey as well. So rather than it just being a case that I'm just on this reproductive revolution by myself, they've actually supported it themselves as well. There's been many organisations that wouldn't work with us because they felt the conversation was sexually provocative, whereas Sikh PA actually made it okay for a Sikh woman to openly talk about these issues and not have any shame around it. It's quite hard to live with these conditions on a daily basis. I actually had almost the whole of March off due to my health. And it's very difficult to live like this and not it be a topic that's spoken about when you actually need people to speak about, due to issues such as mental health, because when you're in pain all the time, it does have an impact on your mental health. So it's far more than just reproductive health. It has a huge impact, and we're very grateful to the Sikh PA. Any of the coverage that we've ever got has been down to them. In particular, Jazz has been really, really supportive. So And we've been really lucky with that. We've had the support of like places like the Nishgam Centre, etc. So we've been very, very lucky and very grateful to the Sikh PA. And like I said, I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there with you tonight, but if anybody does want to get in touch, they want to know more about Sisters, then feel free to contact me. I'm pretty much accessible wherever, and if you have got any health issues, then feel to get in touch with Sisters and myself, and more than happy to help you on this journey. Thank you.